We have these diet wars that are going on, and they've been going on for many years now. And starting with Dr. Atkins, thing got pretty bizarre. And since that time, it's gotten crazier even since then. And we have all these various diets, the keto diet, the paleo diet, and now we've even got the carnivore diet, which is hard to believe. But, the bottom line is whether it's a vegan diet or a carnivore diet, everything in between, all these people believe that whole foods is what we should be eating, that the Americans are killing themselves with their forks, and that we're getting too much refined foods. We're getting too many foods that are adulterated with all kinds of toxins in them. So we know we have that in common. But after that, it gets to be pretty wild. And it's like the Wild West when it comes to nutrition. So what do you say about what's been going on for the past 40, 50 years?
Yeah, well, I think you just said something very profound. I mean, if we really could, like a marionette, control, the diet of America, the Western world, the whole world, and we simply said, let's just shut down fast food restaurants. Let's get rid of frozen pizzas in the middle of the grocery store. Let's teach people how to actually cook food. Could be a lentil soup. Could be bone broth. I'm not going to eat it, but could be. Let's teach people skills, how to shop, batch cook, make food. Just basically turning the clock back about 100 years when we didn't have Kraft and Nabisco and some of the others. There would be no doubt it would put a strain on people, but health would blossom back. That the influence of the food industry, tied so closely and very often the same as the pharmaceutical industry, is destroying our health. And whether you get rid of that, if I could control the world, we would literally shut down all those McDonald's and Arby's and you name any other one, Burger Kings and Wendy's and Taco Bells, and we would replace them with places you pick up produce. And maybe, not to my liking, you pick up high quality, lean cuts of animal protein foods. I hate that word, animal protein, because my beans have protein and my oats have protein and my flaxseed has protein, but whatever. Everybody connotes protein with their chicken and their turkey and their fish and their beef, of course.
Dr. Kahn, as a cardiologist, okay, looking at these high protein, high saturated fat diets like the keto and the paleo and now the carnivore, as a cardiologist, that's got to concern you. What is your feeling about what's that doing to the heart, and what's that going to do to our longevity?
Yeah, all you got to do, if any of you are on Instagram, my friend, I don't mind naming people. They want to be out of the box. Let them enjoy it. Dave Asprey, a dozen years ago, take your coffee, put butter in your coffee, put coconut oil, MCT oil in your coffee, blend it up, have yourself a saturated fat breakfast, and feel wonderful till lunch and dinner, and then eat whatever you're going to eat. It was the emperor wears no clothes, the biggest BS story ever told. And he made tens and tens and tens of millions of dollars because people are so susceptible to, marketing and the rest. That's just one example. And there's only been limited data on bulletproof coffee with butter and coconut oil. And I hope everybody doing that stops immediately. It's toxic. You'll die, or you'll have no erections for the rest of your life, or you'll get diabetes. There's a very powerful article about the effects of the ketogenic and carnivore diet on lipid measurements, cholesterol measurements. And, many people respond. There's a rare exception if they don't, but many people respond with like a hyper rise in cholesterol and LDL and inflammatory markers like high sensitivity C-reactive protein. Do we have all the science we need? We don't have all the science we need, but we have science. And, Dr. Walter Longo, professor, University of Southern California, the best nutritional mind in America, in my opinion. Maybe you want to extend that to the world. Always says there's 5 pillars of nutritional science. There's basic biochemistry. Do you think saturated fat raises cholesterol? mean, we got ample basic biochemistry. Do we have randomized studies that saturated fat raises cholesterol? We're talking ketogenic, paleo, bulletproof coffee, garbage. Yes, we got basic science. We have randomized studies. Do we have epidemiology? Oh my God, back to Ansel Keys, 7-country study and beyond. We've known for decades that high saturated fat diets kill people. And that's not what Dave Asprey is saying. That's not what keto and paleo people are saying. Kills people. We know that. Do we have centenarian studies, studies of people over 100? Do you think people over 100 are drinking bulletproof coffee and keto diets and paleo diets? I mean, gag on that. That's the biggest lie in America. That is the emperor wears no clothes, and people are so vulnerable because they're so confused by all these messages. They think there's actually some data for bulletproof coffee and other approaches. And then you have the impact on the environment and the animals. And we know that any animal heavy diet is horrible for the planet. And it's obviously horrible for factory farm animals, which is 95% of animals. So we get this over and over. Go down the vegan path, whole food plant-based path. Go down the vegetarian path. Go down the Mediterranean diet path. Go down the paleo path. I think we'd be in pretty good shape. Okay, I'm not sure we'd be in such good shape going down the carnivore path. Although I admit I've been on many carnivore podcasts. You have to recognize there's, an abundance of testimonials and, no published research of any importance, but testimonials. Maybe for a few, that's the last remaining way they can get healthy. I don't know, but we would improve health. So, before we move to the optimal diet, let's talk about the suboptimal abundance that's really destroying our health in America, making us overweight and obese, making us so dependent right now on Wegovy and Zepbound and, these drugs that are amazing. But it's so sad that kids need them and young adults need them and adults need them. So, look, I'm a dreamer. I don't know when we're ever going to return to a food economy where people actually learn how to cook. I've actually called out, the maker of Ozempic and Wegovy is now the largest company in Europe, the number one highest value company in Europe, more than any fashion or car or banking industry, Novo Nordisk. It ought to be that you have to go to a nutrition class. You have to go to a fitness class. You have to go to a lifestyle management class to qualify to continue to get Ozempic and Wegovy and Zepbound and Mounjaro. They're so expensive. The company can afford it. They can afford an online class that you actually have to finish. Make it culturally diverse so the Latino can do it and the inner city person can do it and the urban person can do it, whatever it is, the rural person. You really should tie these together, but we're just going down the toilet because we've lost that skill of, growing our own food, cooking our own food. I mean, every patient I see, and I'm 35 years into cardiology practice, but I know every one of my patients. What's your breakfast? What's your lunch? What's your dinner? What's your snack? Who cooks? How many meals a week out? I just ask. It's fun to talk about it. Where do you eat? People have so many answers and nobody cooks in my house. Nobody wants to cook in my house. I walk in the door at 7:30 and I have to bring, carry in food because there's no food prepared. That's not my life. I'm very lucky to have a wife that makes, amazing. I would even call it simple food. The way food has been cooked for, centuries.